Whenever you guys are ready. Good. Well, good afternoon. I'm joined here today by Tom Bell from our Attorney General Cybercrimes Unit and Michael Brown, our Deputy Attorney General. As your Attorney General, my highest priority is protecting Kentucky families. That's why every single day in this office we work on a four-part mission: preventing and prosecuting child abuse, better protecting our seniors from scams and abuse, seeking justice for victims of rape and sexual assault, and finding workable solutions to our drug epidemic. It is no coincidence that protecting our children is the first of those priorities. Protecting my children is my job as a dad, and protecting all of Kentucky's children is my job as your Attorney General. It's also a part of my faith. The 82nd Psalm, verses 3 to 4, states, "Defend the rights of the poor and the orphans, be fair to the needy and the helpless, rescue them from the power of the wicked." Every day, the hardworking employees of the Kentucky Attorney General's office strive to ensure the safety and well-being of all Kentucky children. And every day, we battle those who wish to hurt and exploit our children. It is estimated that at any one time, there are over 500,000 predators online looking for their next child victim. That victim could be my child. It could be yours. That's why investigators with the Attorney General's Cybercrimes Unit are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to stop them. In the past, on average, the Office of Attorney General would remove about 15 child sex offenders from the streets every single year. I'm happy to say that between January 4th and September 1st, they have removed 31. I am so proud of those efforts, but neither I nor the investigators in that unit are satisfied, and we will never be satisfied if there is one remaining child predator in Kentucky that we have not identified and caught. I am committed to making sure that every single Kentucky community is the safest place possible to raise a family. That's why in July we began what's called Operation Shielded Child, the first concerted child predator sting in Kentucky. That was in the Paducah area. The initial sting produced 2 arrests over a 2-day period. Late last month, we expanded Operation Shielded Child to even more communities. Today, I'm proud to report that over 10 days in September, the Attorney General investigators working with KSP and local law enforcement identified and arrested an additional 10 child predators as part of Operation Shielded Child. That is only 5 predators short of what we used to do in an entire year, and we did it in just 10 days. These 10 predators were residents of 8 Kentucky counties: Hardin, Allen, Franklin, Boone, Kenton, Shelby, Jessamine, Garrett, and 1 predator who was caught in Georgetown was from Dayton, Ohio. The individuals arrested include Eric Easley, 47, of Vine Grove in Hardin County, charged with 40 counts of possession of a matter portraying sexual performance by a minor and 1 count of distribution of possession of a matter portraying sexual performance by a minor. All those charges are Class D felonies. William Crow, 32, of Scottsville in Allen County, charged with 100 counts of possession of a matter portraying the sexual performance of a minor and 1 count of distribution of the matter portraying a sexual performance by a minor. All Class D felonies. Douglas Ray Judy, 33, of Frankfort, Franklin County, charged with 1 count of prohibited use of an electronic communication system to procure a minor for sex, a Class D felony, and 2 counts of violating his conditions as a registered sex offender in Kentucky, both Class C felonies. Philip Farley of Walton in Boone County, charged with 20 counts of possession of a matter portraying the sexual performance by a minor and 1 count of distribution of the matter portraying a sexual performance by a minor, all Class D felonies. Barry Moravec, 63, of Burlington in Boone County, charged with 25 counts of possession of a matter portraying the sexual performance by a minor, all Class D felonies. Scott Hardesty, 47, of Independence in Kenton County, charged with 4 counts of possession of a matter portraying the sexual performance of a minor, all Class D felonies. Gary Stoops, 32, of Shelbyville, Shelby County, charged with 4 counts of possession of a matter portraying the sexual performance of a minor, all Class D felonies. David Dunn, 58, of Dayton, Ohio, charged with 1 count of prohibited use of an electronic communication system to procure a minor for sex, a Class D felony. He traveled from Dayton to Georgetown, where he was arrested. Daniel Wright, 34, of Nicholasville, Jessamine County, charged with 100 counts of possession of a matter portraying the sexual performance by a minor and 1 count of distribution of a matter portraying sexual performance by a minor, all Class D felonies. And Eddie Rowe, 53, of Lancaster, Garrett County, charged with 100 counts of possession of a matter portraying the sexual performance by a minor and 1 count of distribution of matter portraying a sexual performance by a minor, all Class D felonies. That is over 400 felony charges, all dealing with children. Additionally, 1 more individual is currently under investigation as a result of this operation, and 2 separate arrests were made on other grounds, such as outstanding warrants during the operation. Operation Shield a Child is proving to be a very effective tool in the fight to protect our children. But we would not be successful without widespread cooperation with the Kentucky State Police, Homeland Security Investigations, and the Georgetown, Frankfort, Lancaster, Nicholasville, and Shelbyville police departments in this operation. It will take all of us working together to protect our children the way they need to be protected, to protect them from devious predators. So let me send a message to the predators out there that are looking to take advantage of our children. There is nowhere to hide. We are out there looking for you. We will find you. We will arrest you, and you will go to jail. Thank you, and I'd take any questions.
Is this problem becoming worse, or are we just able to detect it more and make arrests more often?
Well, on the first, I'm not sure if it's becoming worse or we just see now what the scope of the problem is. For far too long, far few too many people reported abuse. So it's hard to know historically how bad the issue is. But we have never had better technology than we do right now to find these people who are downloading and sharing the worst of the worst hardcore child pornography, or the tools to find those that are online trying to entice minors to meet them to engage in sex. So we have never had a group as good as this cybercrimes unit in Kentucky that is working to protect our children every day.
The individual charges,
Yes.
counts, is that for each image that is found? How does that work?
Well, for each image that's been charged, there may have been others, but each one represents a Class D felony, punishable up to 1 to 5 years. Now, there is a maximum with Class D felonies put together of 20 years, Tom, of 20 years. So those with 100 counts of a Class D felony would face up to 20 years.
Can you give us, without going into too much detail as far as how you operate, but how
Right.
do these folks operate? How do they find these people?
Well, we have some of the most cutting-edge technology that allows us to track the sharing and downloading of these terrible images on the internet. And these aren't just photos. Every time these are out there, they re-victimize the children that are in them, and they encourage an industry that is child sexual abuse. And so each one of these is something we need to not only pull down off the internet, but we need to find the perpetrator and arrest those that download and share them. But our folks are constantly monitoring that, as well as they are out there looking for folks that are either advertising on the internet to try to find children or who are actively seeking them.
Has the number of investigators you have in the cybercrimes unit, has that increased, or is it the same?
It is the same as it was under the last administration. However, we are making an effort in the near future to add 1 investigator. What we're seeing, I think, is first we had a little change in philosophy where we moved from the number of images pulled down to really focusing on the number of dangerous individuals we pull off the street. And then we tried to empower the folks in the office. This version of Operation Shield a Child came from the ideas and the thoughts of our investigators on the ground, who had some changes and some nuance they wanted to bring to the plan, and it allowed it to be significantly more successful. So we are indebted, Tom, to you and to your group on not only your great work, but your leadership in the area. I don't know on their statistics where they are. I'll say that we look forward to working with them in any and every way we can. This is an area where when you look at the total number of predators who are out there, we need all hands on deck. And we're willing to work with anyone and everyone as we were able to do with these various police departments. So my hope is that they're having great success, and we look forward to them joining and staying in that effort.
When you're dealing with these other agencies, talk about the cooperation between the two. I mean, and you also talk
Yes.
about kids technology. When it comes to resources, how does that work? I mean, do you
Right.
kind of help people out, that kind of thing?
Well, as far as the technology in the cybercrimes unit of the Attorney General's office is second to none. I believe that it's the best in the Commonwealth, and what it allows us to do is to locate and investigate these individuals. We then work with local law enforcement that are always very cooperative. You know, everybody joins those law enforcement groups because they want to do the same thing, protect Kentucky families. And what we're dealing with here are some of the worst of the worst that need to be arrested, and so we find there is great cooperation each and every time.
How many are in the unit, the cybercrime unit?
Right now, 4. And that includes supervisor? 4.
Looking to add one.
We are.
How did this Operation Shield a Child get started in the first place?
Well, it got started in the first place with an initiative to make sure that we were protecting Kentucky families in every part of Kentucky, and that our operations weren't limited or focused around our headquarters here in Frankfort or Central Kentucky. That led to the first part of Operation Shield a Child in McCracken County, where we worked with the sheriff and the police department there on a regional basis to try to round up some of the worst offenders. That led to a lot of knowledge that we learned on how to do the second phase of Operation Shield a Child, and I got to tell you, the results are nothing short, I think, of incredible. Bringing in 10 arrests of these individuals when in past years we would average about 15. But I think we're only going to improve from here, and I think every member of this unit is committed to that.
Anybody else?
Can I ask a question about something else?
Sure. Anybody else have a question on this? All right, Lawrence.
Just one quick question.
Sure.
About the Longmire funds, the tainted funds. That
Right.